So, Timberborn updated. Their next big update finally hit, and I've been trying to play through it, get to know the mechanics, get to know all the stuff, and I'm I like it and I don't. See, I love the idea of what they've done. However, I think the execution could have been a bit better. A big part of this update is the change in complete overhaul of the storage system. If I come down here to water, if I want to store water, there's no longer a storage area for it. Instead, you have to go to storage, which I get. However, you'll also notice there's new piles and warehouses and tanks. And I'm loving the idea of finally getting a massive tank, which I've been hoping for a while. The medium tank looks like it's going to be the same. They just made it so that way it doesn't have the weird L shape to it. The small tank is actually right here. It's the regular water tank, except smaller. Which I guess that's pretty nice. However, one thing I'm not a huge fan of is that it's all dedicated storage. And I get that I use dedicated storage in practically every game. Take Satisfactory, for example. I love that game. I always have dedicated storage for everything. But here, the piles can now hold planks, blocks, metal, dirt, and treated planks on top of logs. And you have 3 different sizes, which are amazing. I love the idea of the small pile, the large pile, and the underground pile. Well, not the underground one so much. I'll get into that in a bit. But on top of that, you've also got small warehouses, medium warehouses, and large warehouses. The small ones are right here. They accept a single good and can hold 30 things. I think that's perfect. Medium one is what the old warehouse used to be. It holds 200 of a single good. And it's here that I'm not a huge fan of this change. Because I want a whole bunch of storage of a whole bunch of things. I don't want to have to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the different warehouses for all the different things in every single district, in every single place, all the time. And that's just going to waste resources and waste space. Another big change they did was adding rubble. When you delete a building, let's say this medical bed, you get back some resources. It shows you get back like 80% of the resources. It's ridiculous. And it's rounded up too, which is absolutely awesome. Stairs here, you get back a bunch of stuff there. For the triple lodge, you get back a whole bunch of logs, and it all fills up the space that you normally would have been in. And this can get cleared away by your builders, which I think is a fantastic change. It lets you remove buildings and put them somewhere else at the cost of a handful of resources and some time. I'm a fan of many of the changes. Let's see, what else was there? I feel like there was something. Oh yes, the migration. Migration now shows you where you're going to send them. If I follow this line, oh look, that's where I'm going. If I click on this and I click on there, it shows me where I'm going. If I had a third district, I'd be able to switch over to that, and it would show me that too, which I think is a fantastic idea. I've always wanted that. That just seems to be logical. And that's practically it. The storage overhaul and the recovery of building materials was a huge deal, and I really do like it. But I feel like they could have executed it a bit better. First of all, I really do want to be able to just store a whole bunch of things in my one warehouse. Like, I want to be able to have a bunch of random stuff just kind of piled in one area. But at the same time, I also know that I'm going to need dedicated storage later on down the line. And I think that the warehouses could have been a bit better done. Okay, you're nearly finished. For starters, I wish that they would have it so that way you can just select bulk storage. Because when you go here, it shows you everything that you can store in there. On top, and it's not just those, it's also here. You have to be able to store maple syrup, biofuel, medicine, catalysts, all the things. And I get it for the wet storage. Heck, I even understand it for the piles. Like, yeah, absolutely. But for dry storage, I'd like to see it so that way you could have bulk storage of one kind of material, like a just food warehouse or a just food processing warehouse, rather than forcing you to build individual warehouses for every single one, every single time. It just becomes a pain in the butt. Let's see. What else was there? I feel like there was something else, and I just can't think of it right now. Oh, rubble. When clearing out rubble, uh, hmm, yeah, no space for store, no storage space. This is something that I wish they would change slightly. I want to be able to I want my builders to be able to pull directly from the rubble, or have it so that way the rubble can be prioritized over the gathering flags. In general, though, I am pretty pleased with this update. It's fairly good. It's very clear on what they're trying to do and how they're trying to balance the game. Perfect. You're done. Oh, you're injured, that's why. Yeah, there's just a couple of things that I would like to see changed slightly. But in general, I'm fairly pleased with the update. I'll have to play with it more and get closer to the end game to really get my thoughts on it. But I wanted to make a video, and yeah. And I wanted to give you guys a short little update because I actually haven't been able to make a video in an unfortunately long time because I moved into a new house. Yeah, uh, just finished moving. We're still in the process of unpacking, but I moved into a new house. It's about time. We've been looking for a while. So, yeah. I'm not going to be doing videos too much, at least for a while. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to do a nice, short little video going over my thoughts on the new update. I think they could have done it a bit better, but for the most part, I'm fairly pleased with it. There's some things I'd change, but that's just part of the game. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll hopefully do some more soon. Sooner rather than later, I hope.